Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Interesting comment from Mahela Jayawardena saying that you don't really want to tinker with your top three. And I think that's a message to with three players essentially playing out of position in the Indian team. Is probably the reason he was reacting to it. Have a look at the reshuffling of the top order in recent times, and that's what you want to have as a settled pairing as such, or not just pairing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I feel they've moved this around too much, and I'm not going to talk about the England games, because if you think about it, the England games are actually a long time back. I mean, if you look at it in terms of time, after that we've had the IPL tournament, obviously, where different situations are there, but at least in this tournament. And it's very interesting because remember, Virat made the statement up front that he wanted to open. He made a very clear situation that saying that, I want to open, which is why he was also opening for RCB in the tournament, because he felt that it'll give him practice at the top spot. And now that he's not opening, he moving back, because it obviously makes sense to Rohit and Rahul. And then Ishant coming in, I think it's again like a little bit like, I'm sorry to say that whole number 4 thing in the 2019 World Cup, where it's just a mess. Nobody wants to do something wrong. Everyone's wanting to do the right thing, but you end up sort of making a bit of a, as a good North Indian would say, a bit of a khichdi. You've tried too many combinations, too many times you've changed, and now nobody feels secure about their position. And if you see, the one thing that Pakistan has done well in this tournament is that they've stuck to the same team. This is the same situation. Again, luck is also a factor. No injuries, same team. They've won matches. When you win matches, confidence also comes. So, sometimes the cards just fall. And I don't feel that there's been our selectors have been as they've tried their best to make the best decisions possible for the team. It's just, sometimes it doesn't work out.
DK, you've played at different positions in the batting order, but essentially when you get down to 4, 5, 6, 7, you can sort of put yourself as almost a floater, have your pads on and say, depending on the situation, I'll come in. But when it comes to 1, 2, 3, 4, how important is it for them to be settled?
In T20, number 4 also can be a floater, because, you never know when the wickets, like Joy said, you don't know how the cards are going to fall in many ways. So it's okay. You just go with the situation, the flow. But 1, 2, 3, in most cases, more often than not, if you have it pretty set, like let's take Mumbai Indians for an example. For the longest time, they had the same 1, 2, 3. They had openers, Quinton de Kock, Rohit Sharma, at 3, Surya Kumar. Now that didn't change at all. If you take this year for CSK, it was the same. It was, let's take the second half. They had Faf du Plessis, Rituraj Gaikwad, and at number 3, it was Robin Uthappa. The back end, at the start, it was Moeen Ali. They gave him a fair run before deciding, okay, let's change. But it wasn't like Rohit, Robin one game, Moeen one game, Robin one game, Moeen one game. It wasn't like that. They kept it fairly simple. KKR, for that matter, Venkatesh Iyer, Shubman Gill, Rahul Tripathi. That didn't change at all. That was consistent. So up to number 3, you're pretty fixed with your mindset. Okay, either you go in at the fall of a quick wicket, or you go in at a stage when you need to just push the run rate. Either of these two, you're not expecting anything else. So it's a set mindset. Whereas obviously 4 is somebody which is very flexible. It could be 20 for 2, then you need to obviously take rearguard action, or it could be 130 for 2 and you got to go and take a tee off. So it could be either of this. So it's a more flexible position. You need somebody who has a lot of shots and who can obviously play the waiting game if necessary. From 5, 6, 7, more often than not, it is assessing the situation, taking on. To answer your question, even I in many ways would like the 1, 2, 3 to be settled. Going into this World Cup, they should have exactly known, okay, my openers are Rohit and Rahul. If one of them is injured, or if one of them obviously has an injury, then Ishan comes in, otherwise no Ishan. Simple. In this case, what happened, Surya Kumar went out of the team because apparently he went down to pick something and he just got a back spasm and couldn't move after that. So they had to bring in Ishan Kishan, because they had no other batsmen. They had only bowlers. They had Ashwin, they had Bhuvneshwar, and I think they had Rahul Chahar. So they had nobody else to go to. So in that case, they had to bring in an Ishan Kishan. When you bring in an Ishan Kishan, I think looking at his track record, they weren't sure that he could contribute too much in the middle. They preferred him opening. And Vikram Rathore, the batting coach, has also come and said that we didn't want 3 left-handers in the middle back to back, even though I disagree a bit, because I feel that against New Zealand, having a left-arm spinner and leg spinner, if at all you could do it against a team, it had to be this team, which is fair. I think, from their point of view, they didn't want Pant, Ishan Kishan and Jadeja to walk in together, which is okay. But sending him opening, and I would have ideally liked, in case an early wicket falls, send an Ishan Kishan. I would have still opened with Rohit and Rahul. Alas, it didn't happen, and obviously things didn't exactly go India's way.